Welcome to LifeBlood. This is George G, and the time is right. Welcome to today's guests, strong and powerful doctors Barbara and Michael Grossman. Welcome, doctors.
Thank you. Wonderful to be here.
Thank you.
Excited to have you on. Doctors Barbara and Michael are the authors of Ageless Love and the Sexy Science of Falling in Love Forever. They've been helping couples for over 25 years create fulfilling romantic partnerships. Again, excited to have both of you on. Tell us a little bit about your personal lives, some more about your work, and why you do what you do.
Well, we love doing what we do. And we started out working on our own marriage, where we were married for about 10 years. And the first marriage that we had was really nice. We did whatever I wanted, and I liked that marriage. And then Barbara went back to graduate school and started thinking for herself. I had her own ideas and opinions, and that was a difficult transition for us. How to have two independent people in that same marriage relationship, very difficult. And we went to a lot of counseling, which was not helpful. And we went to a lot of courses and classes and mentors, and that was really helpful. We learned a lot about marriage and relationship and interacting with each other. And then we began to teach classes after we got our own marriage working together. Dr. Barbara was a marriage counselor at that point, and I was a family doctor. And we gradually began to share what we learned with our patients, and we began to grow our experiences. And we started doing courses and classes and writing books, and we're having a great time now. We love doing what we do. You want to add anything, my dear?
No, you said it. That's what comes out of personal experience. There's nothing more important, more joyful, and more painful than having a relationship that doesn't work. And it has far-reaching consequences. Not only are the partners miserable, but it affects children. And so my focus is to really make a difference in American marriages, because we want America healthy and happy.
Well, amen. I think that I certainly, everything you said makes a ton of sense to me. My folks split up when I was 5, and it's complicated the last 40 some years of everyone's lives. So the more that can be done to help folks have happy relationships, I think that that's all the better. So, I think that there's probably a ton of things that are standing in our way and standing in the way of those relationships. What are some of those barriers that y'all have seen or are seeing?
Well, there is a variety of things going on. One is the inevitability of relationships to get into trouble is there, because we're changing. Who we are when we're 2 is different than when we're 6, different than when we're 13, different than when we're 25, different when we're 40. And these changes are inevitable. And we see the inevitable changes of a teenager. We know that they went from feeling close to their parents to feeling they want to be more independent. When we're in our 20s, we are feeling close to our family, our husband, wife. When we're 35 and 40, we start feeling separate again. It's a natural transition. We write a lot about it. Both of our books that we wrote, the Ageless Love book is the newest book, and then one before that is the Marriage Map book. And that's an inevitable change. And when you see the big picture, then you don't think, oh, something wrong with my relationship, I'm getting out, I'm leaving. No, this is what's going to happen. Just like take a breath. It's not the end of the world. You got to get new skills now to deal with it.
Right. So it's inevitable that this disconnection happens, whether, if there's children, there's a partner who's home with the children, usually the female, and she's still about bonding and connection. And the partner who's working is more about individuating and becoming successful and accomplishing and defining themselves. And so where they were once really connected and intimate, they're in very different developmental states. And it's hard to bridge that. And the alternative, if there's no children and both partners are working really hard and becoming successful and powerful, that creates a power struggle because they're both individuals. They want it their way. So there's really no way a couple in this day and age can escape that transition time where they're simply not as connected as they were. It's unpleasant, it's uncomfortable, but it doesn't necessarily mean you're not meant to be together. You need to understand what it's about. And we help people understand, and we help people learn how to consciously communicate so they can connect and really move through this period of time and stay close and understand what's going on with them.
Fascinating that we are constantly evolving from the time when we're little kids to, just for as long as we're living. Hopefully we're constantly evolving, and we're doing this separate. We're doing it together, and the challenge and the opportunity is letting the other person know, hey, I'm changing. I'm not changing because I'm interested in moving away from you. In fact, I'm changing because I want to be a better partner for you, trying to be better together.
Or be a better person.
Right. And that is the big picture. So one of the big secrets, we talk about 3 secrets to fall in love forever. And one of the secrets is seeing the big picture. The second secret is you have to learn to share your new way of being in the world with your partner in a way that doesn't create arguments and upsets. And what we say, if you're not listening to your partner without interrupting them, then you're not really listening. And we have a whole skill set that we teach people how to do that, how to listen to your partner without interrupting them, where you're really open to seeing the world to this new way of being. Your partner is seeing the world a new way. You're seeing in the world in a new way. It's not the way when you first fell in love, it was so automatic and easy. Everything was great. Now it's like, they're so different. Why can't you just be the way you used to be? Because you've grown and changed, and you've got to listen to each other. So one of the critical thing is the skill of listening without interrupting. And that has to be learned. It's like roller skating or ice skating or basketball playing. It's a skill.
Why can't you just be the way you were? That seems like
romantic relationship is not designed to be a smooth ride. Brothers and sisters, parents, children could be a smooth ride. It's possible. But romantic relationship, it's not possible. And unless you're already 50 years old and you're getting together, well, then you're kind of like, set in so many ways. But to go through life, romantic relationship is like fiery relationship. It's not the water smooth relationship. It's fire. It's intense. If you don't see your brother or sister for a few years and you see them again, you just can't wait to be together and talk to them. Don't try that with a romantic relationship. It doesn't work. You've got to have that intense relationship that is ongoing. And it's just the nature of romance. But romance has the possibility of increasing your lifespan, of increasing your brain and your mood, your energy, and your general health. It's very, very special, but it's designed in a certain way that it's intense.
Also, your intimate relationship gives you a lot of feedback. It actually promotes your development. There's nothing that grows people like having a partner in life, an equal partner who lets you know when you're out of line, when you're unpleasant, when your thinking isn't clear. And the requests from your partner will stretch you in various ways. So it's a very, very meaningful relationship as far as unfolding your personality over a lifetime.
Equal partner. I think that really jumps out to me, and it makes sense to me when Dr. Michael was talking earlier, sort of introducing y'all. He talked about the first sort of stage of our relationship was me doing all the things that I wanted to do, and then we shifted. And it sounds like you both came together with the understanding is we're both really high achieving, successful people, and we're going to have our own path together. When you are working with couples who are maybe that first version, where you have one person who is really trying to change and evolve, and the other person says, why can't you be the way that you were? I liked better the old way. How do you reconcile that?
Well, I don't know that people say that. I think what happens is that the new desires, the new goals create friction. And so there's perhaps conflict over new requests or new interests that aren't consistent with the past. So it's usually much more localized than that. And that's where, really sharing what this new desire means to you and what it can possibly mean to both of you it's important to be open about it rather than defensive and focus on the conflict. And by the time I see couples, they've had those conflict conversations over and over again, and it's eroded their bond. So it's important to understand that we develop over a lifetime, and not to stay in that negative space for a long time, but to have help in talking about it so that you understand how you can support each other and partner in things.
So the secret number 3 that we talk about is dealing just with this issue that you're raising. We teach couples how to make requests nicely. So if you're changing and you want your partner to do things that they haven't been doing before, because you have changed and they have changed, then you have to say, it would really make me happy if, and then you say what you're saying. And you're saying in a way where it's not like a demand, it's not like a threat, you do it or else. No, it's none of that. We teach them how to make it nicely. And you want to make a little teeny request. We have a whole structure of doing that in our courses and classes. So that changes the way it is. A man wants to make his lady happy. He doesn't want to have to exhaust himself doing it. He doesn't want to be criticized for doing it, but he loves to do things to make him happy. But the lady has to make it easy for him to succeed. So we have that methodology that we teach our couples.
And then there's the matter of negotiation. If there's some, if there's a way you can go part way towards the partner who's made a request, you do what you can do, and then you have the opportunity to articulate what concerns you have about it and what inspires you. And so you constantly have 2 evolving individualities working together, negotiating and sharing their lives together. And it makes for a very rich life.
Yeah, that certainly does make sense. Anytime you can have open and constructive, understood conversation, that would be a recipe for success. Do you advocate for structured conversations, for scheduled conversations? How do you think about that?
Absolutely. Some of the most important conversations need to be scheduled, and there needs to be rules about it when it's a conflict. And we teach a structure for how to talk about important things. And we also teach or coach that there needs sometimes to be breaks where you go away from each other and think about it, and come back to the conversation later on in that day, or perhaps the next day, but by appointment, because a lot of conversations really need deeper reflection.
And you don't want to jump on the other person and make them have a conversation when other things are going on for them. Definitely structure, schedule. We have a whole process that we teach people how to do it. And we like couples to have, when they come to our classes, to have regular conversations and to schedule them. That's a regular part of their life. They have 3 to 5 minutes where, okay, here's the structure, here's what we're doing. And yeah, that makes a huge difference in a relationship.
I like that a lot. So it's a schedule, and then sort of a rules of engagement for when we're talking, and also then breaks, and then you coming back by appointment. Right. I can see, just for me personally, that a lot of the time I do need a little bit of room to breathe and to process things on my own, and to get my thoughts right before I just talk through everything with my wife or with other people.
Right. We usually limit conversation maximum 5 minutes each person. That's the maximum. It's more than that, you can't process that much when there's some issues going on. Yeah.
And it strikes me that so seeing the big picture, making sure that you're learning you have the skills to be able to share your new way of being, and then making the request nicely, that it really is so essential that I have the right tools and the framework for making this happen. Otherwise, just like you talked about, learn how to roller skate or ride a bike or speak a language, if I have no framework for learning how to do that or actually carrying it out, my odds of success, I might be successful, but it'd be a lot easier with a framework.
Right. Now, not all issues are rational. Some, what happens in in a relationship is that we reactivate each other, and our injuries or hurts from childhood are aroused. And we have to know that that's going on. It's a partnership is a really deep emotional bond, and it's inevitable that you will feel feelings that you have forgotten about for years, and your reactions to feeling those feelings may not be so pleasant. And so the opportunity to feel those things and think it through and share it and share what you want that would heal those feelings is a remarkable gift that comes from a loving relationship. And those conversations need to be managed properly so that the hurt and the re-experience of old injuries don't overwhelm the relationship. And that happens to everybody, but a lot of people don't know how to contain it.
That makes sense. Well, doctors Barbara and Michael, the people are ready for your difference-making tip. What do you have for them?
Oh, we have so many things that we could talk about. What I can add to what we already talked about, the 3 secrets, as couples get older, to maintain passion and maintain intimacy and sexual functioning. The science of what I do as a medical doctor, I replace hormones naturally, bioidentical hormones, changes people's lives every day. When women go through menopause and men get to be 50 or older, they lose their hormones. When we replace them, they feel young again. And that creates the passion that they used to feel in their romantic relationship and their life. And that's a huge, huge kind of a benefit. Dr. Barbara, you want to talk about our classes?
Well, we have classes online to teach, where we teach skills. We made it simple, where we have 5 courses depending on what your biggest issues or injuries are. We have courses in about, what are they? Parenting, being important.
Sexual functioning.
There's a part about sex. There's all
Arguing.
To stop arguing. We want couples to have access to this. We've made it extremely inexpensive. It's $37 for a course. There's a part of the course that's where we talk and give information, and then we give homework and actual skills training online. We want all of American families to build their bond and grow their lives and raise their families with joy and love.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, I'm so grateful for both of you. I'm so grateful for both of you for coming on. Where can people learn more about you? Where can they get the books, and where can they access the courses?
Well, agelesslove.com is agelesslovequiz.com is probably the best place to go. They can get the courses there, agelesslovequiz.com. And our book will be available in the next month or so, and it will be available in many places, but they can go to fallinginloveforever.com and get the book there, and they also can get it on Amazon.
Excellent. Well, if you enjoyed this as much as I did, show Dr. Barbara and Dr. Michael your appreciation, and share today's show with a friend who also appreciates good ideas. Go to agelesslovequiz.com and then fallinginloveforever.com and take advantage of all this value that they're providing. Pick up a copy of the book and get better at relationships. Thanks again, Doctors Barbara and Michael.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And until next time, keep fighting the good fight, because we are all in this together.